Welcome back to another episode of the Unscripted Podcast. As always, I'm your host Eduardo, and I'm here with my co-host Edward. What's up, Edward?
Hello, Ed. What's up?
Not much, man. It's Super Bowl Sunday was yesterday, and obviously as football fans, it's a great day, but it's also a sad day because football season has come to an end. We gotta wait till the beginning of like September for another football season, but man, it's been
I
an
think it's, I
incredible season.
think it's also sad that we get a Super Bowl in Vegas and we don't really hit on parlays.
Yeah, a lot of people didn't hit the parlays, I'm sure. But I think they said Vegas was cleaned out because the Chiefs won, and obviously they were the underdogs, which we'll get into it in the episode, but they were the underdogs. But let's jump well before we jump right into it, what is your takeaways from this game? What is one takeaway that you got from this game?
Uh, I kind of want to talk about it later, but we just want to get into it right now.
Yeah, let's just jump right into it, man.
We, I can say it's not hyperbole. It's not hyperbole or not a stretch. This is just 100% fact.
Mhm.
We are witnessing a generational talent in Patrick Mahomes. He, he's that's the proper way to describe him. He's a generational talent.
I mean that's the same takeaway that I got from this game. That like I think not just me, I think others. I don't know if you would agree with this. He's probably one of the best quarterbacks I've seen. Not I think he's still like you said, he's just starting. He's like I mean not just starting, but this is his seventh season, technically, and his sixth season actually starting, right?
Hmm.
And he's 20 years old. The things that he has accomplished in his short career, not many other quarterbacks have done it. Obviously, the greats like Montana and Brady, and he can. I think he can definitely be in the discussion now about the GOAT status with Brady and Mahomes. Like what Mahomes has done in his short career, like it's incredible. And like you said, we're witnessing something that we have not seen before. And three Super Bowls, Super Bowl MVPs. He's only him, Brady, and Montana have done it. Um,
The
but
two-time
man,
league MVP. If he retires tomorrow, he's a first
oh
ballot
no,
Hall of
for first of
Famer.
all, that now, my question to you is he the GOAT? Or do you feel like he's well, like, does he still has to win more Super Bowls? Obviously, to reach time is seven, so he would need four more. But let's say he gets one more and he's still in the trajectory of what he's done. Do you think he's the GOAT in your eyes?
Good question.
Because we have not seen something like him before. He is
I
special.
mean,
Like Brady, he 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 was special. He was clutch in certain months, but Mahomes is like, man, like it's another thing. And like I said, like there's certain players you don't bet against, and Mahomes is one of those players.
I mean,
And
it's just strange because the only Super Bowl he lost was against Tom Brady,
right,
who is considered the GOAT. And
mhm.
now, even just watching football as a whole, we're in a weird time where like we, ne- we never see Tom Brady playing football. This is a new era. This is a new
but we
thing.
but like a new era with a lot of great quarterbacks. Obviously, Mahomes now in his like I said previous in the previous podcast, like he's in his own tier list. Like he's separated himself from the others. Like to this game, like to even put him in the conversation with Lamar, with Josh Allen, with Burrow, even though Burrow beat him to get to the Super Bowl. There's only two people that have beaten Pat Mahomes in the postseason, Burrow and Brady. So, but like I said, Mahomes is in his own category. He's definitely to me in the discussion of the GOAT. Like I said, I think he's one of the best quarterbacks I've seen. And like we said, there's been a lot of great quarterbacks in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, Joe Montana, Peyton
Let's
Manning.
not let's not call him the GOAT, but he deserves a
He's
seat at
not,
that tape.
yeah, he's
He
in the
deserves
senior
this.
table, especially
Yeah,
with this. Yeah,
not just like GOAT quarterbacks, but he probably just put him on like just
one of the best players.
like
Yeah.
sports greats. Like when you talk Michael Jordan, Tom Brady,
Mhm.
Bill Russell, just sports icons as a whole.
Uh-huh. And it
This
and the
this
fact that
dude's
his
still in his prime,
and
and
his
I don't see any. We don't see any chance. We don't see any slippage whatsoever.
and I
It's just,
repeat,
it's just
he's
going to keep
only
getting better.
and he's only 28. That is the most shocking thing that he's only 28. And but let's just get right into the game. Um First half was not the best. It was not looking good in the beginning. It's kind of boring, a little bit kind of somewhat boring. The defense, obviously makes some defense. Both defense played really great in the first half. Um, Obviously the first quarter was like 0-0. Nobody scored. McCaffrey fumbled on the first drive. The 49ers took it, and I think he fumbled in the Chiefs 25-yard line. So, I mean, both teams were kind of like maybe I don't know, just we're not really themselves. I don't know. I just you know,
Defense is pretty much dominating the first half.
oh yeah, the defense definitely dominated the
Both
first
teams'
half.
defenses.
Yeah, both team defense, and then eventually McCaffrey ended up scoring in the second quarter with that little trick play that Brock Purdy passed it to Juwan Jennings, and Juwan Jennings, you know,
Favorite to McCaffrey.
McCaffrey. But no, yeah, but that if that pass with the Juwan Jennings passing back to Brock Purdy, right? No, how was the play going?
Brock throws the pass to Juwan, and Juwan catches it and just tosses it to McCaffrey, and McCaffrey just
Yeah.
just goes the distance to the end
But
zone.
that one could have been intercepted. If you kind of see it, that if it wasn't for, I'm not sure who it was. I don't know if it was Debo or Kittle. If they didn't do a little, there was a little block out in the way. I forgot who was one of the Chiefs defenders. If they wouldn't, that block didn't happen, that could have been possibly intercepted, or it kind of could have been deflected. That touchdown probably would not happen if it wasn't for that. I don't know if you saw that, but it was one of those Kyle Shanahan and strict plays that came in, and McCaffrey was always, if he was gonna score eventually. McCaffrey's always he's always gonna score. But yeah, they once he scored, the Chiefs didn't score. There was like Pacheco, he
Yeah, the Chiefs were
fumbled
driving. The Chiefs were driving down into the red zone. Checo fumbled.
fumbled the ball. Like I said, not like McCaffrey and Pacheco to fumble. It's kind of strange and kind of like before this game even started, like we kind of knew that it was gonna be like a running game. Uh, we everybody kind of assumed that it was gonna be like mainly the running game. McCaffrey had a great game. I mean, 80 yards, 80 yards rushing and 80 yards receiving. He was definitely their best player the Niners had. Um and
But
but yeah,
going
go ahead.
into this game, I saw that throughout their whole run, yeah, they were winning the game, but this Niners team, the way you can beat them is if you run the ball.
Now the Niners did pretty well actually stopping Pacheco. Not obviously he had 59 yards, but they kind of did well stopping Pacheco, but it was Mahomes that led the Chiefs with the rushing with 66 yards rushing, which he kind of put the team on his back. Like when he had to put the when his name was called and he had to go get those yards. Was it the fourth and second or fourth and one that he ran it? Kind of like
Yes,
that you see Travis Kelce motion and then he runs it and that kind of
it was supposed to be a QB draw, but Mahomes saw the first down and he basically knew what time it was.
yeah. But like I said, let me double check. Let me see everything. But Kelsey, obviously, like the Chiefs didn't get going until like the second half. Kelsey only had one catch, was it for like 1 yard or something like that? Like 1 yard throughout the whole first half. And
Yeah,
obviously,
Pacheco fumble. That's kind of what kind of like drew up this controversy
with
because
Travis.
Andy Reid took him out of the game, but
There was a block, right? If it wasn't for
mhm. And
like
Andy Reid kind of had a little spat with. I mean, Travis Kelce kind of had a spat with Andy Reid about keeping him in the game, and if he was in that game, that it probably would have provided better blocking and a clear pathway for Pacheco to get in the end zone.
but I mean I understand his frustration because one of those when you're like one of the top players, you always want to be in the field. You always want to be you don't want to be taken off, especially when they're so close of scoring. Um now I don't know if he should have done what he did, kind of basically he could have knocked down Andy Reid, but I do understand like he's an important player. Like you want to be on the field at all times, but maybe a little too excessive that he kind
I mean,
of
it's the heat of the moment. It's the
yeah.
Super Bowl.
Like I said,
Everybody knows what's at stake.
yeah. I mean Travis Kelce's been like everybody's not a big fan of him now, but I mean so that fumble. Now the half ended at what 10-3, if I'm not mistaken, 10-3, right? At the half.
Half was 10. I think it was either 10 to
Yeah, like 10 to
3 or 10 to
3,
6.
10-6, right? At the half? No, yeah, 10-3, 10-3. It's at the first half, it was 10 to
Yeah, 10 to
3.
3.
And then something happened in the locker room, and that just now was it that Kyle Shanahan once again like what happened? Like obviously I think even though it was 10-3, we still kind of like the Chiefs when you have Mahomes, like you can never
It's
you
not
know
just
that
that, but also in all three phases of the game,
no, especially
yeah, special teams kind of collapsed. They kind of made some errors, and the Chiefs started capitalizing off of that.
no, but like the special teams, like the punts, they were like the especially on the Chiefs side, like was it a Buck? No, is it Buck? No, Tommy Towson. He was the one the punter. He had some great punts.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was like that fumble, right? Well, it kind
It bounced off
it
a
bounced.
Niners defender, and the Chiefs recovered.
Yeah, it hit. So like I said, the special teams. Also, Moody he missed. Well, didn't miss it. It was blocked.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that was also that was it the extra point, right? That was blocked.
Yeah, it was the extra
So
point.
so so if you really think about it, at that moment it could have been 17 to forgot what was the score that he got. He had it.
17 to it was 17 13. It could have been 17 to 13.
Yeah, 17-13. So now if you really think about it, because remember the Chiefs tied it 19-19. If he would have made it could have been 20-19. So the Chiefs
Over would
would
have hit.
right?
The over would also hit.
Yeah, the over. But I mean, now let's talk about like so Mahomes he intercepts he gets picked off, he overthrew it. That's probably one of his worst throws that he had. But I mean he was sensational. He threw it 46 times, completed 34 passes, threw for 333 yards, 2 touchdowns. Um, like I said, Mahomes had a great game. Brock Purdy, for his second year, he actually played pretty well in the Super Bowl. He really he played well.
He went
Uh
23 for 38, 255 yards, and one touchdown pass.
yeah, he played pretty well and Spags was sending the blitz. And I think there was a stat that Brock Purdy does well when getting blitz, he's able to get out and somehow make space to make a throw or not. I think there was a play where he gets out. I think Chris Jones was blitzing him, and then he somehow throws it to the other side. And if it wasn't, I think it was like a penalty, like a hold on Chris on Trent Williams. It
Mm-hmm.
was a hold that they kind of pushed him back, but it was an incredible play. But there's like two certain plays when the Chiefs defense. I mean, yes, Mahomes is gonna get the like the credit. Yeah, yeah. Like, obviously he was great, but this defense, the Chiefs defense has been playing well all season long, especially in the playoffs. And that defense really kept them in this game. Um, there was when Spags sent the blitz. I think if it wasn't for, there was two, right? There was one with was it the third? It was in overtime, if I'm not was it in over? It was in it was in the fourth quarter with under 2 minutes. It was a third and four. Um, Trent, was it Trent Dumphy? The Chiefs, I forgot what it was. He said he blitz Purdy, and if it wasn't for that blitz, they he could have hit Jennings, and it could have been a first down, and that they could have run the clock off and sent Moody to kick the field goal. But the Chiefs defense really played well in this game.
I mean, you can also say the onus kind of falls on the Niners for not really knowing the whole overtime rules.
But that's crazy to me that you're playing the biggest game of your life and you don't know the rules. Like that's on the coaching, that's on the head coach, and that's on the players. Like, how do you not know that? And important players, right? Armstead, you check, but that's on the coach. How do you not gonna know those rules? You playing against the team that the rules were changed because of that team, you
I
know?
mean, when a game goes to overtime and pretty much the Chiefs, they were starting to click on all cylinders really in the second half. And I guess keep the defense out there too long, they'll eventually get tired. And that kind of works to the offense's advantage.
Mm-hmm.
So it really was a whole war of attrition going into, and that's pretty much what led to overtime. So yeah, you know what's on the line, but I think it gets at a certain point, these guys get gassed.
But the Niners had like some injuries, some key injuries. Obviously, Greenlaw got hurt. Unfortunately, he tore his Achilles with that. He was trying to get into the field after like I forgot it was
It was
what
still
was it?
during the first half.
Yeah, he got hurt. That was a key loss injury. Debo, obviously his hamstring. I think his hamstring he had issue with his hamstring, but he ended up coming back. Who else? Kittle was also had a shoulder injury during the fourth quarter, or I believe the fourth quarter or the over. I'm not sure. I think it's the fourth quarter. But
Uh,
he also didn't have a big
yeah,
game.
with like how versatile that Niners offense was, I was surprised Kittle wasn't really seeing a lot of action
It
throughout the
was
entire game.
Jawan Jennings, especially throughout like this whole like towards the end of the season. Jawan Jennings was a key player on that Niners team, and he really stepped up. Obviously, he's had a touchdown. He threw for a touchdown. He's him and Foles are the only two players in Super Bowl history to catch a touchdown and to throw one. Um, but UK had a moment. I think Debo was still hurt. You check for a fullback. He made some key plays. But Kittle only had like that one play that got him that first down when it was like fourth and on fourth down.
Hmm.
They were able to so that they get a field goal. But man, this Niners team, like Kyle Shanahan is 0-3 in Super Bowls. And he had the lead in all three of them.
Speaking of that, we gotta like we're going back on the whole Patrick Mahomes thing. Every Super Bowl he's been in, he was down by like 10 or more. Still finds a way to still find a way to get it going.
That
That's kind of why I always kind of that's another reason I couldn't count out the Chiefs, not just Patrick Mahomes, but that duo of him and Andy Reid's play calling. Andy Reid, he's been doing this since a lot of people don't remember, but he's been coaching since Brett Favre was in the league, and I think he's seen every single offensive scheme, and as the league keeps changing and evolving, Andy Reid can call up anything to do it, and it just works. So
yeah, and he had great quarterbacks. Obviously McNabb, Vic, Alex Smith. Like he's had great quarterbacks.
like he always has a trick up his sleeve.
Yeah, for sure. But it's like I think everybody kind of knew like you give Mahomes under two like less he had like it was like a minute and like 50 or something like that. That's plenty of time for Mahomes to get a field goal to score. I think everybody kind of knew like that's so much time for him. Like there's certain players like Brady, you give him that much time, he's gonna convert. He's gonna make some big plays. Mahomes is like that. You can't give him that much time. and
Honestly, I
he
was really just getting more surprised that they were even like getting in field goal range because you would think as a defense, you're gonna try to stop. You had to like blitz him, figure stuff out,
well
just
they
like get him off his game.
the Niners did blitz, but I think they messed up at one blitz. They blitzed and they left that one side open. That's how they got the first and one of the first downs. I forgot who it was, who it who it was to, but they set the blitz, and I think Roma was saying like, oh, they shouldn't have done that. And you kind of see like they just left so much space and they got the first down. I mean the Niners did an okay job, kind of not giving Mahomes that much space, kind of keep him in that little box. Because if you get Mahomes outside, he's gonna make some plays, and they did a pretty good job. Nick Bosa, um, Chase Young. I didn't really see much from him.
And Nick Bosa had some plays in the first half.
Oh yeah, he had some plays in the first half. Fred Warner, I think the Greenlaw injury kind of affected them, pretty much. But man, this Niners team is just like this definitely probably gonna sting them a lot. I think they're favorites to win the Super Bowl next year. Brock Purdy's only gonna get better. We'll see if this team stays because I'm sure they got to pay some people. Um, but like you said, I think we're living in an era where like it's the Chiefs dynasty, just how like the Patriots now.
It's been almost 20 years since we've seen back-to-back Super Bowl champs and the Chiefs. It's their time. They're
Now
the
a lot,
Patriots of this era now.
and now people hate them. Now people don't like them. Which I understand because obviously when we were watching football, we kind of hate the Patriots. Like not these guys again. Not like why is always the Patriots, like Tom Brady. But I think as you get I think you kind of you hate them, but you respect greatness.
Mhm.
And
Like I said, Patrick Mahomes, he's just in that. Yeah, he's generational because this is gonna be told like when it's all said and done. We judge greatness on like clutch moments, and who else do you? Like, I pretty much you just seal that with you throw a game winning touchdown with 3 seconds left, also in overtime. So just
game winning drives, like not only
ice
like in the fourth quarter you set a drive to tie the game, and then on overtime you ended with a game winning touchdown drive with was it like 6 seconds left, 3 seconds, like
3 seconds left, ice in
it's
his veins.
crazy, crazy, and he keeps so calm. He's so calm and cool, like like I said, we're witnessing greatness, and all we can do is just witness it and just respect. Obviously, it's unfortunate for me because my team, the Chargers, we're in the same division, and
Yeah. Now you know how I felt when I saw the Ravens were going to get Menard Jackson.
but I mean, yeah, but like the right now to beat the best is Mahomes. Yes, Lamar is the MVP, but the best is Mahomes. So if you want to be the best, you want to be the champs, you got to go and beat Mahomes.
He's going to be in your division for a long time. He's
And
not
and,
going
and
anywhere.
and it's not and not just in that division, the AFC, your Steelers, like anybody that AFC is packed now. Mahomes, like I said, he's on his own tier list, but you have now Allen, Burrow, Lamar, Herbert. You got CJ Stroud. Who am I missing? Who am I missing? Uh, Trying to think who am I missing?
AFC,
The AFC.
shout out
Well,
to Will Levis.
I guess Will Levis he had a great, but it's like all these great quarterbacks. They all got to fight it out because at the end of the day, if you want to get there, you got to beat Mahomes, and obviously Burrow already did it. Burrow's gonna come back. You got Deshaun Watson, obviously gonna come back. Who knows what they're gonna what
Kenny
he's gonna.
Pickett.
I don't know about that, but he's maybe Will Levis, but like I
He's been
said,
dealing with some injuries. He's gotten a raw. He's gotten a raw deal. New OC.
we'll see, we'll
Just
see,
watch
we'll
out, Ed.
see.
Just
But
watch
like
out.
but like I said, it's gonna be it's I don't know. I just like like can they get the three-peat? Like, but one thing's for sure that before you answer that, one thing's for sure. No matter what, no matter how bad the Chiefs are playing, next season or whatever season, as long as Mahomes is the quarterback,
The Chiefs are still
I
the Chiefs.
the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and from now on I will never count them out. As long as Mahomes is the quarterback of that team, the Chiefs still have a chance, and I will not count them out. We myself, a lot of people, myself included, counted the Chiefs out. I didn't. Like I said, I said that I didn't see him in the AFC Championship, not even the Super Bowl. I was completely wrong. Now, what he did, I will never count the Chiefs out because of Mahomes.
Found it funny that the Kelsey brothers, I remember when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, Jason Kelsey had that legendary promo he cut at the championship parade.
Yeah,
And Travis has also been cutting his legendary promos every Super Bowl victory.
yeah.
So they're going to thrive off of that. And honestly, when their backs against the wall, yeah, Kelsey had his worst statistical season. Mahomes had his worst statistical
The
season.
team, the
They
team
led
had
the
a
league in drops.
not one single receiver had 1,000 yards. Not one single running back had 1,000 yards. And this was the year to knock off the Chiefs. In their worst year, they still won the Super Bowl. In Mahomes, statistically, his worst year, he won the Super Bowl and was a Super Bowl MVP. Now, this team is only going to get better. The defense is young. Rashid Rice is going to be number one. Obviously, Kelsey going to come back. I'm sure they're going to pick up players.
Eric
I'm sure,
Bieniemy, their original offensive coordinator, could potentially come back.
yeah, I'm sure players are going to want to do a 1 year contract to come to the Chiefs who and want to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, it's going
This
to be a
team,
free agent destination.
this team is still there, and it's like I said, it's a dynasty. It's a dynasty. Like they're not going anywhere, unfortunately. For a lot of us fans of we're in the AFC, obviously Steelers, Chargers. We're gonna be seeing this. We're gonna see Mahomes for a long time, and I mean, we just gotta sit back and just win this greatness, and hopefully our team somehow make it and beat them. Um, but yeah, man. But it was a great Super Bowl, definitely for sure. But I don't know any last words for you. Any any last thoughts on this game? Any last thoughts on Mahomes? Any last thoughts on Andy Reid? This team
We're witnessing a goat in action, and he does it all through ketchup, Texas barbecue, and Coors Light.
and Coors Light. They show that Coors Light. And
So
look,
I won just to salute to greatness.
man, I mean, like he's showing like you got if you got a dad bod, you can still be great. Um, but yeah, man, like that it still can't I still can't believe like what happened last night. So it's
I'm sure he's going to have his fair share of these during the parade
oh
too.
I'm sure and him and Kelsey too. I mean, and this team was motivated because of all the hate they got, all like the just the negativity that this
All the
team,
noise.
all the noise that they couldn't do this, they couldn't do that. They fed off that, and like they said, was their most like that's probably one of the best Super Bowls they've ever had because they were back against the wall. Everybody doubted them, and only that team believed in themselves, and they won, and they won. And like I said, I don't want to hear anything about Mahomes this, the Chiefs that. Like I said, as long as that 15 is on that team, I'm not down in that team. I'm not never ever down in that damn team as long
Yeah,
as Mahomes is that.
even after their first Super Bowl win, and then during his MVP year, everybody kept saying they're having some issues and said like, "Oh, has the league figured out Patrick Mahomes? Patrick Mahomes figured out the league."
Yeah.
And
Remember his first season, he couldn't even know how to read defense. So, and his first season, he threw for like 50 touchdowns, right?
yeah,
Without knowing how to read defense. So it's just he's I mean, all respects. He's like I say, he's the first ballot Hall of Famer. Once he retires, he's going straight to the Hall of Fame. Like that's it, no question. But I mean that's about it for today's episode. Like I said, fortunately, no more football. That was the last Sunday, football Sunday that we had. now we're gonna get tuned into basketball. We haven't even seen basketball. We got NBA. We got March Madness coming soon, which is always exciting. Obviously a lot of us are gonna
I
be
mean, we'll still be dialed in free agency and the drafts in the following months, so the league never stops working.
yeah, the league never stops working. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We got the draft and the free agency so we'll see. But till then, peace.
Bye.